All right then. Welcome to Cloud Classroom, everyone. Uh, well, the class is about three. Well, it's already said in the schedule how long it is, but we learned anything from addition and subtraction within 1,000 to two-dimensional shapes, and then these are just Zoom features. I hope all you guys already know what they are. And then I teach this class. So, oh wait, freak. So a bit about me is that I'm an eighth grade currently at American Heritage. I've tutored here before. I've successfully passed third grade, which is an achievement here. I've played cello and a bit of piano, and I've won state and regional math competition. I like math, and I have two cats. So the basic rules is I honestly don't care if you have your camera on or off. Your microphone really should be off during the class unless your hand is raised or you have a question for me. Anything is can be allowed in chat as long as it isn't inappropriate or is spam and interferes with the class. English is preferred during the class, but any language is fine. And then homework is recommended to do and learn about this, but you won't have to do it. So how it will work, the class is 60 minutes long. First we learn for 30 minutes, then we take roughly a 5-minute break. Then we continue for like 25 or 30 minutes. So chapter 1 is addition and subtraction within 1,000. So let's start with number patterns. A pattern is an ordered set of numbers or objects. The order will help you predict what's next. For example, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. That's a pattern because that's all plus 1. Or as seen in the image, 11, 17, 23, 29, 35, 41, 47, 53. That's also a pattern. It's just plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, plus 6, and so on. So what is a pattern? As I said, a pattern is just the same steps or steps over time. For example, plus 1, plus 1, plus 1. It's a pattern. So it's plus 3, plus 5, plus 3, plus 5. Those are all listed patterns. So can you figure out what the patterns are here? So for example, 3, 6, 9, 10. This wouldn't be a pattern. However, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's all plus 1. That would be indeed a pattern. Or let's look at number 3. 10, 9, 8, 7. That would be a pattern. That's minus 1, minus 1, minus 1, minus 1. But the next one, it's 10, 9, 10, 8. There's no clear pattern here, and we can't inference anything from this, so this would not be a pattern. But the next one, oh, 7, 10, 9, 12, 11. This seems like random numbers. This is a plus 3, this is minus 1, this is plus 3, this is minus 1. So this would actually be a pattern, even though it looks like gibberish at first. But this one, 6, 4, 6, 9. This would be minus 2, this would be plus 2, this would be plus 3. This is not a pattern. We can't see anything from this, and there is no clear, definite way of knowing if this is a pattern or not. So this would not be a pattern. What about 5, 3, 9, 2? This would be minus 2 plus 6 minus 7. That's also not a pattern. So, rounding estimation. I don't know it, or I know it, for most people. So rounding estimation to the nearest 10 or 100. So usually when you round, you find the number that is close to it. Usually ends with a 0. For example, 63 is between 60 and 70, but 63 is closer to 60 than it is to 70. So 63 rounded to the nearest 10 would be 60. So let's try some examples. 1 to 8 is between what two numbers? 1 to 8 would be between 120 and 130. And let's take this. Which one is it closer to? Is it closer to 120 or is it closer to 130? It's obviously closer to 130 due to the fact that if you count 120, 121, 122, 123, 124, 125, 126, 127, 128, that takes 8 numbers instead of 128, 129, 130. That takes 2 numbers, technically 3 if you include the zeros. So it would be closer to 130 than it is to 120. So 128 rounded to the nearest 10 is 130. So let's take 175. It is between 700 and 800. This is rounded to hundreds. It's closer to 800 than it is to 700. So it's 800. but if you round it to the nearest tens for 775, it's between 770 and 780. It's close. If most people, when they start out, they will say it's closer to neither. It's in the middle. But according to mathematics, you must, if it enters 5 or higher, you must always round up. So 775 would be closer to 780 than 770. So it will be rounded to the nearest 10 of 780. So let's try estimating sums. For example, 781 plus 68. First try estimating to the nearest tens is what we're going to do here. 81 and 68, you can either do rounded to 80 and this is 70. 80 plus 70 will be 150, or you can manually add them. So 81 plus 68 will be 149, and that's close to 150. So the answer would be 150 either way. Or 376 and 571. So to round nearest tens, we know 376 would be 380, and 571 would be 570. 380 plus 570 is, let's see, 370, 80, that would be 50, so that's 650 plus 300, so it'll be 950. So that's what the answer would be here. So you can find the exact value, add them together and then round, or you can round the numbers and then add. So let's try rounding to the nearest 100. 432 and 473. 432 is close to 400, while 473 is close to 500. So the answer would be, well, the answer would just be 400 plus 500, which is 900, as shown here. So we also can try breaking apart addition to help add. So like this, 569 and 384. 569 is equal to 500 plus 60 plus 9. 384 is equal to 300 plus 80 plus 4. So what's 500 plus 300? 60 plus 80, 9 plus 4. These should not be hard to add because these are all single digits with zeros as placeholders. So 500 plus 300 would be 800. 60 plus 80 would be 140, and 9 plus 4 would be 13. So 800 plus 140 plus 13, that's just 800 plus 140, which is 940, plus 13, which is, so it'll be 953, which is here. The answer is 953. So what about this one, for example? 162 plus 158. You separate into 100, 100, 60 plus 50, and 2 plus 8, as shown here. Oh, that's an error there. I need to fix that. This should be an equal sign. But anyway, oh wait, there we go. So it will be 100 plus 100, 60 plus 50, as I said, and 2 plus 8. So it will be 200 plus 110 plus 10. So then it would add up to be 200 plus 110 plus 10. Or the answer will be 320. So what about estimating differences? You could say you have 720 cards, and someone else has 389. So how much more cards do I have than Lucifer? So you could go count every single card you have, and then remove how much cards the other person has, which would take a long time. So you could either manually do it, or 720 minus 389 would be 111, or 31, 431. No, it would actually be 331. Well, you can manually subtract that out, or many mathematicians would just be lazy and do something like this for rounding. 720 is about 700. 389 is about 400. So 700 minus 400 is about 300. So you have about 300 more cards than Lucifer. But to be exact, you have 341 more than Lucifer. But many people actually have 331. I'm sorry. But many mathematicians are too lazy to just count that out. So a lot of people just say you have about 300. So another example is estimating difference is if I had if Michael had 777 golden apples and Eden had 216 golden apples, how much less does Eden have than Michael? Again, you can manually subtract, which so would be 1, 6, and 5. So the answer would be 561. That's the total golden apples Eden has less than Michael. Or you can round because so it will be 777 is about 800. 216 is about 200, and 800 minus 200 is 600. So Eden has about 600 apples less. So some of you might be like, uh, why is this important? This is important for some reason. For example, if you had 800 million apples, and someone else had, let's say, 600 trillion billion 328, you don't want to subtract that out. That'll take way too much time. Instead, you could have just rounded and found the answer. So, it's early. Yes, I know. But come back in 5 minutes. This is the first class, so I'm going off easy on the first chapter, and then I'll wait on what's oh, frick. All right, so that would be 5 minutes. Okay, and I see that there is not a lot of participation, but all right. So let's try with chapter 2. Represent, interpret data. So in organizing data, there's many ways to do this. You can either make a tally chart or make a frequency table. But there's more ways than this too. A frequency table are similar, well, let's start with tally tables. Tally tables are tables using tallies to signify an amount given to something. For example, this tally table. A tiger has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 tallies, 10 tallies, 15 tallies. So tiger has 15 tally marks. Giraffe has 5 plus 2, 7 tally marks. Elephant has 5 plus 2, 7 tally marks. And deer has 5, 10, 11 tally marks in total. So it's used to signify how much something has here. And then a frequency table is something similar, but uses numbers instead of tallies. For example, dog erases 7, cat 6, hamster 2, guinea pig 2, fish 3, turtle 2, mouse 1, and none 7. So, some practice problems. What score is the most frequent? So, you can see here 6 has a frequency of 2, 7 has a frequency of 3, 8 has a frequency of 7, 9 has a frequency of 7, 10 has a frequency of 1. So the answers will be 8 and 9 are most frequent because both of them are shown 7 times, while everything is shown 3, 2, and 1. 7 is greater than any of the other numbers. And how about how many scores are higher than 7? None of them are. Actually, wait, how many scores are higher than 7? The answer is none. Wait. Oh, oh, I know why it works. So higher than 7, there's 7, 7, and 1. So there's 15 scores higher than score 7. I forgot. My brain wasn't working. I was thinking about frequency, not score. I'm sorry. And then how much more people scored 8 than 7? How, oh, that's actually a mistake now then. I actually know that now. But this that is false. If you actually subtracted 7 minus 3, that is 4, not 6. I'm sorry. I accidentally wrote a typo. Does anyone have any questions before we go on? I see no comment, but I see no rebuttal. Well, I hope everyone's actually paying attention and hope that everyone just said no and they're actually paying attention instead of doing something else. So, let's have some more practice problems. What part is the most favorite? What part of Christmas, as shown here? Is it decorating the tree, opening presents, playing in the snow, carols and music, time with friends and family, or Christmas food? So, does anyone here know the answer? Nice. Emily Shaw, nice. So, what would the answer be to this question? I assume that out of no answers that none of you know the answer. The answer would be opening presents because this has the most tally marks. So the answer would be opening presents. About which part is the least favorite? The least favorite would be Christmas food because it only has 2 tallies. How about how much more people like decorating the tree than food? This shouldn't be hard. So decorating the tree has 9 tallies and food has 2 tallies. So how many more people like decorating the tree than Christmas food? That's just 9 minus 2. Anyone know the answer to that? The answer would be 7, because 9 minus 2 is 7. So, picture graphs. This is another type of graph, but just portrayed differently. In this, pictures are used to show how much something has. For example, this means a pencil is equal to 2 students. So math has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 people's favorite subjects. Reading has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. 7 favorite subjects. And science has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 favorite subjects. So how much favorite subjects does social studies have? Correct. The answer would be 3. Social studies have 3. So how about this? How many students chose apples? There is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 10 apples, and 1 apple is equal to 2. So it will be 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14, 16, 18, 20. 20 people chose apples, and 16 people have chose bananas. As there are 18 bananas, and each banana is equal to 2. So, what about bar graphs? Bar graphs just use a scale to show how much something has. For example, apple, it reaches 35. Orange is at 30. Bananas at 10. Kiwi fruit has 25. Blueberries has 40. So grapes is down here at this part. So how much does grape have? Is it 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40? No. The answer is 5 because it's all the way down at 5. So, according to this, I have a question for you all. How many people like action movies? How many more people like romance compared to comedy? And how much people like sci-fi? So, there's no answer. But anyways, so the people who like action, it's all the way at 5. So 5 people like action. How much more people like romance compared to comedy? So it's at 6. Comedy is at 4. 6 minus 4 is 2. How much people like sci-fi? Sci-fi is at 4. So the answer would be 4. As shown here. These are the answers to my questions. You all need to step up your game and actually answer questions. Alright, to the next one. Line plots. Line plots use marks to record each piece of data to make a number line. It helps to record data. Well, so, for example, 21. I don't like this color. Let me change my color real quick. 21 has 1, 2, 3. So 21 will be 3. That's bad handwriting. 3. 23 has 1, 2. So it would be 2. 24 has 1, 2, 3, 4. So 24 has 4. And 25 has 1, 2, 3, 4. So also would be 4. 26 just has 1. And 27 has 3. So this would be used to like show how much of 21 millimeters of string do they have? They have 3 of those. They have 2.3 meters of string, 24 meters of string, 4.5 meters of string, 1.6 meters of string, 1.7 meters of string. Does everyone get that? Okay. Really hoping you guys get it because I keep receiving no answer. Alright. So, question for line parts. Which set of points is used the most? And this would be 5. You see, it's taller than all the others, and it has the most tallies, or dots, or points as you can call them. That's 5 of them. So how much more is 9 centimeter used more than the 2 centimeter? 1, 2, 3, 4. This is 1, 2. So it used 2 more than the 2 centimeters. Does anyone have any questions up to this point? Yes, no, maybe. Oh, whoops. There we go. So, not sure if any of you guys have questions or not. Let's hope you don't. Yeah. Wait. Ah, there we go. So, we'll take that as none of you guys have questions. So, because none of you guys have, I've received no confirmation. And we'll just go back from the beginning. And because I'm not sure if any one of you guys has questions or doesn't understand. So, let's review from the top. So, alright. So, Erica has no questions. That's nice to know. But I'm just going to go from the beginning just in case none of you guys understand. So, a number pattern is a pattern of ordered sets of numbers or objects. You all know that. For example, it's this. So 3, 6, 9, 10 isn't a pattern because it's just plus 3, plus 3, plus 1. That wouldn't be a pattern. Or 10 plus 9 plus 10 plus 8. That is not a pattern. Actually, no, it's not a pattern because that's plus 1, minus 1, plus 1, minus 2. So that would not be a pattern. So, on the estimation, 63, for example, is between 60 and 70. It is closer to 60 than it is to 70. So 63 on to the nearest 10 would be 60. So, for example, 1 to 8 is between 120 and 130. 130 is closer to 128 than 120. So, rounded, it's 130. And for rounding to the nearest 100, 775 is closer to 700 than 800. I mean, it's between 700 and 800. It's closer to 800 than 700. And round to the nearest 100, it's 800. So, as estimated, you can round this to 80 and this to 70. So this will be 150. And this, you can round this to 400 and this to 600. So the answer will be actually, for the nearest tens, you would round this to 380 and this to 570, which is 950. And round to the nearest 100, this would be 900 due to this rounding down to 400 and this to 500. So, for example, breaking apart addition, you could break it apart. 569 to 500 plus 60 plus 9. 384 is equal to 300 plus 80 plus 4. 500 plus 300 is equal to 800. 60 plus 80 is 140. 9 plus 4 is 13. 800 plus 140 plus 13 is equal to 953. So, to make sure everyone gets it, because you all say you get it, but I don't know if you guys truly get it. What would be 162 plus 158? It breaks apart into this, and that's the simplified version. So, what is 162 plus 158? Truly unknown. 100 plus 100, as we say, it's all this, is 200 plus 110 plus 10. That's just 320. So, that's the main difference is, as I said with this, you have 720 cards, 389. About how much more do you have than Lucifer? But how about let me make another question here right now. Say you have, say I have actually 483, 987, and you have 976,352. About how much more do you have than me? Round to the nearest 100,000. So, does anyone know how to do this? I've yet to receive an answer. Well, I hope you all know the answer to this question. So I'm going to answer the question right now. So 2 news 100,000, 483, 987 would be about 500,000, 2 news 100,000, and 976,252 is about 1 million, which is 2 news 100,000. So it would be 2 news 100,000, it would be 10 100,000, which is just a million. So 1 million minus 500,000 is equal to 500,000. So you have about 500,000 more than me. So this is why estimating is good. You rather say I have about 500,000 more than you instead of saying 976,352 minus 483,987. That would be about around, I think, 492,365. So that's how much it would actually be if you actually did the math. But you wouldn't say, oh, I have 492,365 more than you. You would say, I have about 500,000 more than you, because you wouldn't want to do that math. So, what's another thing? Say you have, what's a random number? 48,000 587, and I have 764,543. How much more do I have than you? So, what would the answer be to this? Rounded to the nearest hundred. Rounded to the nearest 100,000. Rounded to the nearest 100,000. Anyone know? I see no answer. I know some of you guys are active, but I don't see any answer from you guys. I really hope you guys can answer these questions to show me that you understand what I'm talking about. But for like this, relative is 100,000. You have about 100,000, and I have about 800,000. 800,000 minus 100,000 is equal to 700,000. So I have about 700,000 more than you. Alright? Does everyone get this? Does everyone get this? I really hope you all get this. Okay then, to the next one then. I received no answer from you. So let's go to this. This frequency table. So as you know, scores are these, and these are the frequency of them happening. So what score is the most frequent here? The most frequent score is this one in number one, this one number one, this one in number two, this one number three, and this one last. Because 7 is greater than 3, 3 is greater than 2, and 2 is greater than 1. So the answer to this, whoops. So the answer to this, the answer would be 6 as the most frequent. Most scores are higher than 7. 8, 9, and 10 are all higher than 7. So it's 7 plus 7 plus 1. So there's 15 scores higher than 7. How much scores more people scored 8 to 7? 7 people scored 8 and 3 people scored 7, so the answer would be 4. Right? You all get this? Okay. At least I have one person answering my question. So this is just a review, but like I honestly have no clue if you guys understand what I'm trying to talk about. As here, what part's the most favorite? Opening the presents, as that has 7. Christmas food has 2, and this has 7. Pictographs, 2016, this has 10, this has, and it's equal to 2, so then it'll be 20. This, no, 8 bananas, so the answer will be 16. So, let me give you guys a question right now. How many people like apples and mangoes? Does anyone know the answer? there is 3 mangoes, so 6 people like it. And we know above that 20 people like apples. Yes, as Erica said, the answer is 14. Okay, so soon we're done. As soon as I get people to answer this last question after this. So, as I said before, these are the answers to this. So, I have one last question, and then today I'll let you off early due to the fact that today's just an introduction and just a reintroduction of what you guys should know from last year. So, I just want you guys to do this last question. What is it from largest to actually greatest to smallest? Romance, action, comedy, sci-fi, and drama. So what would the order be from greatest to least? In romance, action, comedy, sci-fi, and drama. Correct. It will be romance, action, comedy, sci-fi, drama. I mean, so yeah, sci-fi drama. So, oops, I missed this. I forgot. This is the last one. I'm sorry. So, as we know, these are the answers. The last question then I have to y'all. Sorry, I made a mistake. This is actually the last one. So, I want you to say what is there's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 7 marketplaces. So let's say what is the third largest and what is the sixth smallest and what is the difference of them. So that's my last question of the day to y'all, and then I will let you off early because today's just an introduction. I really went through this class a lot faster than I meant. So I've received no answer. I'm not sure if you guys know it. But then the third largest, 5 is the largest, 9 is the oh. So for this, there's technically 2 answers. 3 and 6 are both the third largest. So you can use 3 and 6. The sixth smallest, so this is the first smallest, second smallest, third smallest, fourth smallest, fifth smallest. 9 will be the sixth smallest. So the difference between them is just 4 and 3. So the difference between them is 1. Or you can just interpret that as 9 minus 6 would be 3, or 9 minus 3 is 6. So those are the different answers you could have interpreted the question. So because today was a review day of what you should have known last year, and today was more of a self-introduction to I can let you guys off early today. So that's one will say that's the end of class today. Leave class if you want, or ask questions if you have any questions of today's lesson. Hopefully you guys go over that.
Thank you.
No problem. Emily, Sunny, do you all have any questions? Or are you disconnected from audio? Do you have any questions? If you have any questions, you can ask during this time. If you don't, then you can leave. Bye. There goes Sunny. So, Emily, do you have any questions? Are you disconnected from audio? Let's hope that you're not disconnected from audio and you're listening to me, or you're just away and currently not paying attention. So, I don't know if you have any questions or not. You have not said anything within the past 6 minutes. We'll hope you don't have any questions, and we'll end the class right now. Thank you for attending, Emily, and see you tomorrow.